so tiger's eye. It's a very, very interesting stone, as you can see. Very, very colorful, striated marks. For whatever reason, this stone right here was popping out at me. It was just straight looking at me like, hey. So that might hold some significance today. But without further ado, let me do the proper introduction. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and good night to all of you tarot and astrology fans out there. This is David with Tarot and Astrology for All, bringing you the last card of the day, which is the Animal Spirit deck. And we're going to see how all of this plays into what we have seen so far. Now, this video I like it the best because it takes the information from all three of the different cards and it puts it all together. So I am going to go ahead and redo these dice. Trying to remember where they were. Okay, so Pisces and that, right? Okay, and then it was a 6, a 10, and a 9, right? And then it was the Sun with Pluto and Jupiter. All right. So, oh man, my ear is itchy. Woo. All right. So, when we did the draw for yesterday, it was the Phoenix in the reverse. So there was some type of transformation, some type of renewal or something like that was being blocked. I feel like that renewal is going to start to slowly make its way through now, or maybe it already has for some of you guys. Now, Tiger's Eye, if I'm not mistaken, is a sign of strength. It's a sign of individuality. If you think about the energy of a tiger, which is very independent, a lot of the times it's lunar-based and could be connected a lot to personal willpower, right? We're going to go ahead and take a look at this next card and see what happens for the energy for this whole read, right? Very, very interesting to note that there is a lot of energy that I have been seeing lately in these cards that's talking about people being in a situation where they were suffering too much, and now it was time for them to let go of that suffering, let go of the people that were causing that suffering, and things of that nature. So, in a way, it's there's a necessity for people to be set free in some type of way, shape, or form. That's what I'm reading. But there's also a necessity for people to express who they are. A lot of the times they might have spiritual gifts, or maybe they might have some type of spiritual aspect to them that they don't readily share, right? And at the same time, this causes them to be like the raccoon, where they have hidden talents and hidden abilities, but they're just not putting them to use. So let's see what the energy for the animal spirit cards are today. And then, oh yeah, the Peacock. All right, so yes, that is a card that I wanted to come out. And of course, ancient wisdom, understanding where this ancient wisdom comes from, understanding where you're headed in what seems like a visually dark or where you don't feel like you have the direction properly. So, all right. So, first we start off with the Peacock. The Peacock is a creature who is inherently beautiful. It's a creature that has inherent value. It has inherent worth. Now, one thing you'll notice about the Peacock is that it brandishes a bunch of feathers and things like that. Now, there could be people in your lives that are flashy, right? Like this Peacock, who may be trying to razzle dazzle you, right? They're trying to do various different things, maybe make it seem like they're this type of person, a peacock person. And of course, really, what this card is telling you is you got to read in between the lines because it could be a lot of hot air, but there's a necessity to read in between the lines to see whether this person actually has any inherent worth or not. Now, I am going to go ahead and take a look at this card, the Peacock, and I'll read it to you guys, and we'll find out what is going on with this card. Alright, so it is of the suit of hair. And okay, Peacock is about inner beauty, compassion, and the assimilator of anything. So the beauty of the peacock is unrivaled. It's easy to think that it comes from the plumage. But the secret of the peacock is that the beauty resides within and extends outward indefinitely. This adept creature can assimilate or digest all experiences in life, so it does not harbor resentment, conflict, or past pain within its psyche. The peacock is extremely rare. Not many of us have reached this advanced level of acceptance of the self and others. So, not only uh, has the fairy who was kissed by the pixies told us that there's a necessity for us to open our heart, for us to basically handle various different situations with love, with either giving love or receiving love. Now, this peacock is talking about an inner beauty and compassion. That compassion is the inner love that we have within us. Now, when we are peacock personalities, we're confident and we're kind. And this confidence and this kindness, it comes. Ooh, so there's an itch in my ear. It's been happening since this reading. So there's something in it that. Hold on. Think about it logically, in the sense that what you're hearing might not actually be what you're actually hearing. Now, it's necessary to read between those lines, but it's not necessary to read those between those lines with resentment or pain or anything like that, coloring or biasing your viewpoint. The biggest part of the peacock is the acceptance of self and others, understanding why people do what they do, and understanding if it's coming from a conscious or a subconscious level. Now, the assimilator of anything is that portion that allows you to understand, oh, well, there's various things happening, there's various different situations, various different aspects of this that I don't know about, right? But if I do find it out, am I able to readily digest it? Am I able to understand where this is coming from and why it's happening? And if not, there's a necessity for balancing your chakras, most importantly, your navel. So that would be the third chakra. That would be right here, right at the navel where your belly button is. And if you meditate on this, I'll go ahead and put out a video probably later on today in terms of how to bring this into balance. There is a necessity to do so without conflict within yourself or outside of yourself, and not to harbor any resentment or past pain. That is the most important aspect of this, because when we think about the peacock and its beauty, well, I mean, there's certain things that could be ugly that are beautiful too. There's certain things that are beautiful that could be ugly as well. So, inherent beauty is the lesson in this. You have inherent beauty, and so do others. So it's necessary for us to read in between the lines to see where their inherent beauty is and try to bring that out. Because once we bring that out with love, they understand what we're trying to bring out of them in love, and then they start to encompass that energy of love, and they start to assimilate it into their being. So let's go into the water signs, because the turtle is talking about the emotions, and it's talking about our emotions in terms of how we feel. Now, this is about being an ancient soul, or having a connection to an ancient soul, ancient wisdom, um, grounding yourself, trusting yourself, right, and being at home in the self, because the shell of a turtle is the home of a turtle, and the turtle carries its home on its back, right? So, it's wonderful to be in the presence of a turtle personality. Like the beaver, the turtle has a strong relationship with the earth and water elements simultaneously. This helps us to ground and connect them to the deeper truths of life, no matter where their travels lead them. Turtle energy is behind all great writers and storytellers, so this might be something for you artists out there, as they collect life experiences under their shells for later use. The most potent energy The most potent turtle energy helps us to close all other books and to begin to tell our own true tale. Oh man. All right. So that's what that's the base of all of this. So how do you know if you're in line with that turtle energy? Well, you're peaceful, but you're adventurous, and you're also productive. So when out of balance, everything slows down to a halt. Now, because this card was in the upright right here, it was like this. You're starting to understand that those times of halts, those times of slowdown, is when you're out of balance. And there's a necessity for you to ground yourself, which is exactly what Flap the Footer was telling us a couple days ago, was for us to ground ourselves immediately, because we're in the situation of where we have the most potent turtle energy to us, and this turtle energy is meant for us to close out old chapters and to begin new ones. Now, how do you bring this into balance? You go on an adventure. You go out there, you go out into nature, you go out into the sun, you go out into the ocean. Whatever is closest to you, if it's a forest, you go out into the forest. Take a little adventure. Understand that you may lose your way, but ultimately, you will find it. That is a very, very potent, and that's a very, very potent message, because if you're talking about the journeyman, and you're talking about closing out a chapter to begin a new chapter, which is exactly what I was talking about in the Rider Tarot Waite as well as the Fairies Oracle, there's a necessity to close out old chapters maybe in which you were telling yourself you weren't worth it. Because, you think about the raccoon for the past couple days too. That raccoon is telling us we have something in us. We have something in us. We have knowledge in us. We have power. We have intuition. We have everything that we need in order to move forward. Now is the time. If you guys are tarot readers, start putting out your stuff. If you guys are songwriters, if you guys are music writers, if you guys are anything that inquires any type of artistic talent, put it out there. There's other people that are looking for that stuff, and they will find it. They will see it. They will take it. They will run with it, and you and them will benefit from that. That is a very, very powerful message. And of course, I mean, you can't emphasize it enough. When energy comes through, that energy is necessary, because when that energy is necessary to be used, it has to be there already. You can't be expected to do something without having the energy to do it. You have to have the energy already inside of you, already generating inside of you, manifesting itself before it can actually change anything in your physical reality. So, if we take the expression, if we take using your core power, your core values, your core intuition, this full moon is leading us towards a Taurus full moon. So, a Tauran full moon is very, very at tune, or very in tune with its values, with its core essence, what really lies at the heart of a person, and why they're doing what they're doing, right? One of the questions that I remember was asked is, what are you doing? Where are you going? How are you doing it? And do you have basically full belief in yourself? That third one, do you have full belief in yourself? Do you know you have the power? That is a necessary aspect, because if you feel like you don't have it, well, you're not going to walk that spiritual path. You're going to walk the physical path. You're going to walk the regular path. It's not going to be a spiritual path like it should be, because when the bison comes through like this, there's epiphanies that are coming through. There's information that's coming through that would allow you to be able to do things in a productive manner, and not just to do them because you need to take your mind off of things, if that makes any sense to you guys. So, with that, I will go ahead and end this reading. This reading, I believe, was pretty helpful. Take it in line with the energy of grounding yourself, trusting your inner intuition and your inner knowledge. And anytime you experience those blocks, those times where things slow down to a halt, there's a very, very strong chance that there's a necessary need for you to balance yourself, and there's a necessary need to go out on an adventure. Now, one thing I do want to point out is it said like a beaver, right? Now, like a beaver, I don't know what that means because just recently, before I did these readings, I started looking at what was considered a new a beaver moon is what they called it. Now I want to go ahead and look at this beaver moon because I feel like it's necessary. A beaver full moon at that. I'm looking this up as I'm talking to you guys. So okay. According to some sources, the full moon for November is named after beavers because this is a time they become particularly active in building their winter dams in preparation for the cold season. Maybe there's something about building, there's a necessity for you to get these emotions and things in line so that you can build something in the future because right now there's a waxing moon, right? The waxing moon is energy that's building up. It's going to build up towards that beaver moon. So whatever you're building, this might happen under the midnight hours. This might happen under the light of a full moon, right? And so this is something that's coming off of your natural resources. This is coming off of your intuition. This is coming off of your skills, your talents, your abilities. All of that raccoon energy that we've been talking about lately, that's where this is coming from. Now, the beaver moon is also a time when beavers tend to seek refuge in their lodges. So, can you imagine a turtle going inside its shell, hunkering down, perfecting its craft? Right? I mentioned that in a previous video too. But this this energy, from what it feels like, is an energy of preparing or preparation for building. So whatever's happening right now in this waxing moon phase, right? There's a necessity for you to understand what you're building and the direction that you're going in, because once it actually shifts into the next part, which is going into the full moon, all of that energy from the first quarter, I guess you could say, and then building up into the second quarter, which creates basically that half, all that energy is going to be towards something. And it's going to be towards something spiritual. It's going to be something based on expression, and it's going to be something that you're going to be doing on an everyday level that's going to completely fulfill your soul, and it's going to make you happy. So with that, I hope this reading was helpful for you guys. I hope that it clued you in on to various different things that you needed to be clued in on. And as we start to move into the month of November and we start getting closer to Halloween, this energy of intuition, the energy of connecting to the other side, it's going to start increasing. So with that, any of you guys who are tarot readers, this is where you're going to find out whether you are meant for that energy. You know, astrologers, numerologists, all of you guys are going to be very, 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 very powerful during this Halloween. Not only that, but even after Halloween, this energy is meant for building, but you're also helping to build others too. So, with that, thank you for being here. Thank you for listening to this message. I will go ahead and end this video here. If you guys liked it, go ahead and hit that like button. If you know anybody who can benefit from it, share it. If you have not subscribed yet and you like this content, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification next to it for videos when they come out. And also, if you guys are looking for a personal reading, that information is going to be in the description below. Also, leave your comments, please. I read your comments and I will respond to them in due time whenever I see them. So with that, and I'll check them on an everyday basis. You guys take care. Go ahead and stay safe, stay free. You know, keep gaining that knowledge. Put your skills out there, and I will see you on the next video.